We're about to do that tonight. I can promise you that. Welcome inside of the most relaxing time of the night where it's nice and soft and comfortable and cozy and warm. And when company comes over, it makes it even more enjoyable. It is an honor and a pleasure to welcome back a dear friend. I don't know if I can use the word friend. Like, how often would you see your friends?
Don't get nasty up in here, because you playing all this sexy music and stuff. God help you if you're at home right now.
Oh gosh, yes.
I hope you're alone, because
I promise
otherwise you'll be pregnant tomorrow.
You know, the Quiet Storm has been known, Patty, to
yeah, I guess it has.
Bring a couple of babies in the world. So you better watch it when you are at home in New York and listening to the Quiet Storm, because things can happen. I just want you to know. Miss Pattie Austin has arrived, and she is bringing Uptown Harlem like you never knew it before to the Quiet Storm tonight, baby. So look at us online, because trust me, if you don't laugh or chuckle, something is wrong by the time she leaves here tonight. You're going to laugh, chuckle. She's a wonderful storyteller, and I'm just happy to see her, because the last time I saw you, it was probably around 3 years ago.
Yeah.
When you came out with this album.
Right.
For those of you, it's called Sound Advice. For those of you looking at us online, you can look at us online if you go to WBLS.
Are we on? See,
oh, yeah,
this is what we were talking about.
Yeah, we were
earlier.
just having an in-depth conversation about how the world has changed. So, you know, folks from around the world now, as far as Spain, Miss Pattie Austin is...
As far as...
Exactly. You know about that. She's world traveled. And can I start off by just saying congratulations? She has just won an Oscar. The Oscar was just on.
Norma Desmond descending. I'm ready for my close-up, Mr. DeMille. Yes.
The Oscars was just on, as you know, this past Sunday, and she won an Oscar along with some other dynamic ladies for Best Documentary Feature.
Oscar by proxy, I call it.
Do you call it that? Really?
Well, I mean, I was.
It's called
a cog in the wheel there.
20 Feet from Stardom, which basically is a story of background singers, and you know all about that because that obviously was a part of your past. And I don't know if you still do background singing.
Very seldom, but if a good friend calls me, I'm there. I love to do it, actually,
wow.
Because it's an art form unto itself.
You know, I've said this to aspiring singers who desire to be in the spotlight,
right?
And they get the opportunity, that call to be a background singer. Luther Vandross, one of our most beloved singers of our time, was just that, a background singer. What is it about background singing that is so vitally important to know before you get to that moment, if you get to that moment?
Well, I don't know that it is as important a component of being in the business now as it was back in the before the troglodytes. Okay. Although I see, or I should say I hear, backgrounds becoming more important in popular music now than it was. We went through kind of a drought for about 5 or 6 years where there just weren't any backgrounds anymore. But it's a marvelous way to really understand what can hold an entire song up. If you've got a great background part. You know, there was a comedian, I don't remember who it was, you might remember who it was, that had a routine where he would just do the background parts for the Pips.
Wow.
And he wouldn't sing the rest of the song.
I don't remember that.
Oh, it was hilarious.
Let me hold you right there. Pattie Austin is with us tonight. If you like to have a golden opportunity to speak with her tonight, 1-855-453-6694. 1-855-453-6694. Let's reminisce with Pattie and James Ingram.
James, who? No, he used to do this routine, and he would go.
We're going to continue our conversation.
Okay, fine.
Online, though.
Okay, fine.
For everybody around the world.
Cool.
Is that cool?
Yeah.
So, what were you saying about?
He would do this routine, and he would go, leaving on a midnight train to Georgia. Hoo hoo.
No.
Living this world. My world, his.
He knew all the background.
His and his alone, and that's all he would sing. He wouldn't sing
Wow.
any of the lead, just the background. And the whole audience knew exactly what he was singing. They knew exactly what he was singing.
That's amazing.
Because backgrounds were so much a profound part of all the music you heard for
Well,
a
they
very
must
long
they
time.
must still be a profound part because
Yes,
people.
they're quite if you listen to most of the contemporary music now, you don't hear a lot of backgrounds. But the hip hop world is kind of bringing the background thing back in a kind of interesting way.
By using samples?
By using samples, by having the singers sing kind of little more intricate kinds of parts. I'm working on a project now with Rod Temperton, and to me, Rod is the background emperor. If you listen to the backgrounds on all of Michael Jackson's stuff, it's beyond beyond comprehension.
It really
the backgrounds that Rod wrote for Michael. And one of the things I've learned in working with Rod on this level, because I always worked with him with Quincy, but I'm working with him alone. And I've discovered as a result how much he constructed what that music was going to be for Michael and what it was going to be for me with Baby Come to Me,
Wow.
you know, and Always and Forever and Boogie Nights. He came up with a got to keep on dancing.
Really?
Keep on dancing. That's all him. And to him, that's part of the song. You know, and I don't know if people know this, but Rod is from England. And so Rod says to me, Pattie, I don't write just, you know, I don't just write the song. I write everything. He does the chords, the instrumentation, the whole, he structures absolutely everything. So he really produces the song.
For real.
For real, from the rooter to the tutor. And it's absolutely fascinating. And then he'll come to me and sing me these ridiculous background parts that are like with harmonies like that tight. And just
he does lyrics too?
Everything.
Wow.
Everything. And the reason that this came to pass is because he kept asking me to come write with him, which I found to be the most intimidating
Really?
idea. Well, I write because I feel like it. He writes every day from 9 to 5. He gets up like he's going to a job, because for him it is. He gets up, he writes at least 2-3 ideas a day. And the ones that stick out at the end of that day, then he starts working on that and building it the next day. And I went there to write with him, and he started playing me stuff he was working on. And I'm going, I'm drooling. You know, it's like going into a dress shop and somebody says, oh, I'm making this for the Queen, and I'm making this for Elizabeth Taylor. You're going, I want to wear that dress. And I just broke down. I said, I want to sing these songs. What have we done? He said, okay.
Wow.
So now we're doing an album. I went there to write, and he beat me up for 2 days.
Well,
write the bloody lyric. I'm like, but that's not how I write. Well, you're going to write like that now.
Hey, look. Now,
amazing.
Is this the project that you told me about 3 years ago that's going to include James Ingram, or this is just a Pattie Austin project?
That kind of fell apart, but I'm hoping and I'm praying, I'm hoping and I'm praying that James will at least do one duet with me.
So,
and I haven't even told James about this now.
Right.
But Rod played me a tune that he's written for us to do together. That's just, and James, and I totally understand James' mentality. He's like, we can't just go in and sing a bunch of songs. We are known for 2 of the greatest duets in the history of
There's
duets.
no question about that.
So we have to at least do that, but better still, we have to top that. So I think the way Rod is writing now, that we'll be able to do that. But I haven't been able to play anything for James yet to see if he gets it like I get it.
And
if he doesn't, I'm calling Michael McDonald. I'm saying it here.
Well,
I'm just saying it
that
right
would
here.
that would be definitely
and
a
I
great
just heard
backup.
Smokey Robinson sing Tracks of My Tears the other night on the BET.
Oh, didn't he? He tore it up, didn't he? Not.
Oh,
he tore that up.
Oh,
Smokey's a bad dude. Bad dude.
Where did that come from? I've never heard him sing like that. You're supposed to get more messed up as you get older when you sing. It's supposed to get like,
no. Look, we
his
come.
eye is on.
Pattie
the
Austin
sparrow.
has some shows coming up, and I want you to be witness to
get
her.
like that.
Because you don't get messed up. I think you become just as great as fine wine. Don't spill your wine.
Don't spill your wine.
I think you just become just as great and sharp as fine wine from back in the day. And true talent is true talent. And you were destined to do what you're doing from a very early, young age to where you are now. At a very young age.
And the older that I get, the more I realize that I came up at a time in the business that was perhaps the most prolific period of the entertainment industry. I mean, I had people sitting me on their knees saying, hey, kid, come over here now. Here's how you sing a song, and here's how you dance, and here's how you ha-cha-cha.
And who does that these days?
Who does that these days? And who's Sammy Davis Jr. these days? Who's Dinah Washington these days? Who's Ella Fitzgerald? Who's Quincy Jones? I mean, these are the people that tutored me, that mentored me through my career. They invented this business.
You're standing on the shoulders of Exactly.
But not like from afar. Not from
No,
afar.
not from
Not saying,
afar.
"Oh, I saw them." I used to watch their movies all the time. I used to listen to their records. I'm in the studio
Just as close as
when
we are
Ray
right now.
Charles is singing
Right.
Georgia.
Wow.
You know, so I mean, it's to have that opportunity as a child and not realize the magnitude of it, then to get like in your 40s and 50s and 60s and go, "Oh my God, I was there when they built the pyramids."
But
I remember when they put the top on the pyramid. It's
But
mind-boggling.
it's mind-boggling, but
mind-boggling.
I'm sure you look back and also say, what a blessing.
Absolutely.
What a blessed life.
Absolutely.
No one could paint a better picture.
I mean, that group of people gave me a bag of tricks that will get me through the next, at least the next 20, 30 years.
In case you don't recognize this young lady's face, her name is Pattie Austin. She has a plethora of shows coming up in and around the New York area. Tomorrow night, she will be at Town Hall with the Duke Ellington Orchestra. That's going to be phenomenal. Tomorrow night.
It's the first time I've done Town Hall, by the way.
Really?
I've done Carnegie Hall. I've done Avery Fisher.
Wow.
Never done Town Hall. So
I think you're going to like that
excited
room.
about it because everybody always talks about the acoustics in that room. They just say the other rooms are fabulous, but that's got the best acoustics in town.
Saturday, if you're free on Saturday, she's going to be at Tilly's, which is out in Long Island.
Tillis, actually.
Tillis, that's right.
Center.
Tillis Center Concert Hall, which is out in Greenville.
And it's supposed to be a beautiful
Long Island.
facility also. I think it's
I
part
haven't
of
been to that one yet.
University campus.
Right. And then you come back to see us in April.
Yes.
For 2 days, April 3rd and April 4th, right?
Yes, but we can't talk about the 4th now.
Okay, so April 3rd, and it's not an April Fool's trick.
Actually,
April 3rd
what he
for
said
real.
was.
So make sure that you do you have a website?
Oh yes, absolutely.
Are you on Twitter too?
No, I don't. I neither
Facebook?
Twitter
Are you now on
nor
Twitter?
Facebook, and but I do have minions who do that for me, and I have been caught many times in airports with people going, "Girl, yesterday what you said yesterday," and I'm like, "Yeah," and they look at me and they go, "You don't. It's not you, is it?" No, it's not, because I have this thing called life. I don't have time.
Well,
no, I just don't have time, and I'm fascinated that people are so absorbed by this because I'm so freaking busy. I can barely get on a phone and talk to anybody. Never mind type them a letter.
It's a part of.
It's typing, people. It takes too long.
It's a part of a life now. The whole social network thing. That's
crazy.
a part of a life. Can we try to grab a couple of calls? I hope you have to forgive me. We're not screening this tonight, so
we could get anything.
We'll play it by ear.
Hello?
How are you tonight? What's your name? Hello. Nope.
Or we could get no breathing.
They're going right. They just say hello. This is the Quiet Storm. How are you?
I'm good.
Now I hear
Chris
something.
from Manhattan.
Hey, how you doing, brother? What can I help you with tonight?
I wanted to give some information. Pattie Austin was talking about the comedian who
Yes.
had the pips.
Who was that? Who used to do that
It was
routine?
Richard Pryor.
Was it Richard?
It was the Richard Pryor show. He just had the pips on and an empty mic with Gladys, where Gladys was supposed to be.
I think I'm going to argue that with you.
Well, I mean, I
don't
know
think-
another comedian had a skit about it, but Richard.
Right? No,
originally
I'm
did
not. I'm not
the
talking
pips.
about. I'm not talking about Richard. I'm talking about the guy. This was kind of like his act, where he would come out and he would just sing the Pips parts on the tunes that they had done with Gladys, and it was hilarious because the audience would know exactly what the song was, and he would not sing Gladys's part.
Wow.
He'd only sing the
Pips.
backgrounds. He'd go hoo hoo, live in this world.
That's crazy. That's
My
crazy, isn't it?
I love
World
your music, Patty.
is
I know. Don't you?
his and hers alone. That's all he'd sing, and the audience would go crazy. It's
Look
like
at that.
he's singing Midnight Train to Georgia.
Hey, brother.
He never sings the song.
I'm sorry, we didn't get your name, man.
I'm Chris from Manhattan. I'm working tonight, but I love Pattie Austin.
Well, hey, Chris.
I love you more. I love you more.
Are you working tomorrow night too? Because she's in town. I think she's in town. Yeah, she's in town tomorrow, and she's performing on Saturday. And if you miss her on those dates, then April 3rd, give your job a little heads up. She's also performing. She'll be back in town. And I know. When's the last time you saw Pattie in concert?
Okay, all right.
No, when's the last time you saw Pattie Austin in concert?
Oh, that last time I saw her, you know what actually happened? I had a chance to see her live.
Oh my
gosh!
I haven't had a chance.
I'm appalled.
You know
as
what?
We say in Long Island.
I feel so deprived.
Yes, sir. I think so, Brother Chris. You know what? We got to make sure that you check her out.
Brother Chris, you got to come. We have so much fun. I don't just sing and dance. I also ha-cha-cha. You've got to come.
Yes, she
we
does.
just have a ball.
Not to mention, Brother Chris, the stories that this woman has is phenomenal. And I know
I'm sure.
You must share some of those stories on the show.
Absolutely. Sure.
Hey, brother, thank you for calling in tonight. I appreciate you in a great way.
Thank you for taking my call.
All right, my brother.
Calling.
Wow, Pattie Austin is with us tonight. We'll take another call. Hi.
Hi, how you doing?
I'm pretty well. What's your name? Hello? I guess he doesn't want to tell me his name either. It's all good. The Quiet Storm, hello? Oh, no more. Okay. Miss Pattie Austin is joining us tonight, and this is an honor and a pleasure for me to see this lady. You know what? I don't know, and this is going to sound crazy. I'm putting myself on the spot, but I really don't know if I've seen you in concert.
Okay, now we're just getting absolutely. Now we've just sunk to
Wait a
a
minute.
new low.
I'm trying to think. It's either the wine, that's really great, by the way.
Yes, it is.
Or
it's the wine.
it must be the wine.
Blame
it must
on
be.
the wine.
Well,
Well, if
I love your performances.
Here's the thing: if you had seen me, you would remember.
Well, here's the thing, though.
Because I'm always pretty ridiculous when I work live.
I know. Here's the problem with my life.
Uh-oh.
And it's not really a
Oh,
problem.
Lord.
No, it's not a problem. It's not
my
a problem.
parents were psychotherapists, so I can help you with
Oh,
this.
can you?
Yeah. Mhm.
Well,
Go
it's
on.
not really a problem, though. I already figured this out.
Okay.
It's called a brother keeping a job.
Oh,
See, every time,
that
yes,
problem.
yeah, that kind of problem. See,
You mean employment?
which is a great problem to have these days.
Oh,
and I
Lord,
love
is it
working.
ever.
So every time you come to
You
town,
work nights,
and
so
when are
Duh.
your shows?
gee, at night,
So
gosh and golly.
that's why I miss.
Yeah.
But if you should ever do a show on a weekend,
Yes.
I am definitely there. I know you're doing a show on Saturday out in Long Island,
Right.
at Tilly's,
Yes.
and
that's also with Ellington's band.
oh, that's going to be great.
Yeah, we're doing all three of those gigs. The one in Pennsylvania, the one in Long Island, and the one in Manhattan are all with Mr. Ellington's orchestra.
Look, I'm going to have to try to work this out and get out to Long Island this weekend.
So we're doing that kind of music. I think the gig on the 3rd, I think that's my pop show. I do like 5 different shows.
Oh, do you? No wonder this
I've
woman.
got many different shows that I do.
Because you travel all around the world. Out of the course of a year,
Right.
how many weeks are you on the road?
It's kind of like half the year. Half the year
That's
I'm on the road.
That's a lot.
Yeah, it's an awful lot.
And throughout the course of the year, you break up these shows to be standards and then pops.
Sometimes it's a pop show. The pop show is like a 5-6 piece band, 3 or 4 background singers, and we do the stuff that's on the album that you just or I should say
Sound
the CD.
Advice.
I'm showing my age here. The Sound Advice Project.
It is a CD album,
It
though.
is a CD. We always call them albums. It
Yes,
doesn't
we
matter
do.
where
Yes,
we
we
go
do.
in
Yes.
time and space and the continuum. It's always going to be an album.
An album.
But I do that show, which consists of most of that material. Then I have another show that's kind of a hybrid of some of that material and the old R&B and pop stuff. Then I have another show that's a tribute to Ella Fitzgerald, another show that's a tribute to Gershwin,
Wow.
which is what I finally won a Grammy for after 8 nominations, and as I like to say in the show, being in Susan Lucci territory. And then ultimately, we're going to start doing a show that's a tribute to Ellington, which is going to be the next straight up what I call classical jazz album that I have coming out.
I'm glad you brought up that.
I think it's going to come out this year. I'm
Now,
pretty sure.
It's a twofold situation. It's like kind of a twofold twisted question that I have on my mind. Obviously, for those of you who watch these award shows, it's a wonderful accomplishment and standard to strive for, to win an award. But it's mainly in industries. Most of them are industry awards. So my question to you is, you were blessed to not only win a Grammy, but now an Oscar. Had you not won any award from the industry, so to speak, would you feel that your life and your career and the purpose of you enjoying music and giving us music would still be fulfilled?
Okay, so here's the big secret. And I only told one person this the other day. I was just on the Today Show. And when you do these shows, you do a pre-interview with what they call the segment producer. And so I did a pre-interview with her, and we just got into a conversation. She was asking me questions that they might ask me and trying to figure out how we were going to skew the interview. And she happened to be a fan, so in the process, she started asking me the kinds of questions you're asking me. And I admitted to her that a very long time ago, I realized that if I was never paid a cent, and please keep this to yourself, people. Don't let anyone know I'm saying this. This is our secret. Okay. If I was never paid a cent to do what I do, I would still do what I do because I love what I do. And that's why I do it. It brings me tremendous joy. It's a very selfish endeavor. It brings me tremendous joy. And then you add to that the fact that people get to hear what it is that I do and enjoy it.
Right.
And it brings, not only do they enjoy it, it brings them joy. Very often it helps them access feelings that they otherwise can't access because music has that kind of power. And to be able to implement that and to let people in on that secret is a very empowering experience. So I love singing, love making music, love being an entertainer. Whenever I fill out forms in foreign countries and they ask what my occupation is, I always put entertainer. Because I don't look at myself as a singer. I look at myself as an entertainer. And when I walk on a stage, that's what I feel I'm there to do. Because I came up in the most... I went to I always say I went to QU, which is Quincy's University.
Yes, you did.
And with everybody from him to Ray Charles to Sammy Davis Jr. to Dinah Washington to Sarah Vaughan, these people were all friends of mine. Rosemary Clooney, who stood backstage at Avery Fisher Hall on Lena Horne's 80th birthday and said to me, "You are the heir apparent. You must continue to sing the Great American Songbook." And I'm like in my late 30s at that time, and I'm making pop records, and I'm having success with it, and I'm doing R&B stuff, and I'm working with Jimmy Jam and Terry Lewis and doing Baby Come to Me, and she's going, "But you gotta sing Cole Porter, and you gotta sing," and it ends up that I win my first Grammy singing Gershwin. So, and these are the people that were always giving me advice and telling me how you do this well and how you maintain and sustain a career in a time when people, I mean, this year I will have been in show business for 60 years.
Yeah, that's a blessing.
60 years, and I would not have been able to do that without being there with the most amazing innovators in this business, in the history of this business.
But your mindset at that time when you were making those pop and R&B records, you were young. You were younger. So you weren't thinking about Gershwin. You weren't thinking about Duke Ellington.
It was music I knew and music I loved and music I'd grown up with. And at the time that I was growing up, that was the popular music of the time.
Exactly.
And that's what Sinatra and Ellen, that's what all those people were singing regularly.
And I'm glad that you were exposed to it, because I think if children are exposed to it early on, and you were exposed to the legends of our time early on, they grow with a greater appreciation.
Absolutely.
And a wider diversity, in my opinion, to music.
I'm always fascinated when I'll go to do a concert of, standard music, and people will bring their kids with them. And they'll come back after the show with their eyes like saucers.
That's great.
I love this stuff.
I love that, too.
And they're 10 years old.
Her name is Pattie Austin, y'all.
How cool is that?
It's 107.5 WBLS. I hope that you have, if you're not driving, that is, been able to listen online, because we've been online talking about a plethora of things with our very, very special dear friend, Miss Pattie Austin, who she just shared. She is celebrating her 60th year in the music industry. And that is a milestone beyond a lifetime. For you to be in this business, survive comfortably in this business, and...
It was well said. I'm going to start using that line. I have survived comfortably.
Am I lying?
You just called it.
Up top. High top.
Look out.
Miss Fatima, who just won some tickets to see Mint Condition, she says, can you tell Miss Pattie Austin that her voice sounds like cotton candy? If you know how cotton candy sounds. I know cotton candy tastes real good, so it must sound even better.
I totally tell her I totally get it. I totally understand what she means.
You are well loved and appreciated.
Thank you for the compliment.
You have to. You must. Your audience is diverse. You span so many different genres of music because of your background, because of what you have been exposed to, which we were talking about online just a moment ago, and you're just happy. I would, if I was in your shoes, and singing was my first love, I would be happy.
What can I say?
You're speechless.
I'm so happy. And why didn't that song win the Oscars the other night? Don't get me started.
Speaking of Oscars, Miss Pattie Austin won an Oscar the other night. 20 Feet from Stardom. One of my dear friends, Miss Lisa Fisher, was a part of that as well.
The sanginess.
And it's
the
just
sanginess. Effa
it's
alive.
a story of background singing. So for any singer that may be listening to us tonight, hey, there is a reason and there's a purpose. That's all I can say. A reason and a purpose. Study well
absolutely.
and pay attention.
Absolutely.
Right? I mean, I don't know. I'm sitting next to a legend here who definitely knows. Tomorrow night, Pattie Austin will be at Town Hall. 8 p.m., doors open up. She will be performing with the Duke Ellington Orchestra. And on Saturday night, she comes out to Long Island, to Tilly's Center's Concert Hall. Showtime is 8 o'clock at Tilly's. Make sure you grab her while she is here. She'll come back in April, on April 3rd to, is that 51st Street?
I think so.
The Iridium.
The Iridium.
The Iridium is on 51st and Broadway. Make sure that you...
I think we're doing our trio show there. I'm not sure if we're doing our trio show. I have 3 musicians that I've been working with now for, well, my musical director about 10 years, the rest of the band about 3 to 5 years. And we are all over the world together, and we just have so much fun. And we've kind of hit the sweet spot of working together where we kind of look at each other and the music goes wherever we want it to go. So that show is a fun show to see because we never really know how it's going to end up. But we know it's going to be fun.
And it not only is going to be fun, when you see a Pattie Austin concert, you're going to have fun, you're going to laugh, she's going to tell you stories, and you're going to be entertained vocally to vocal excellence.
And I will make you cry. That's my job.
Oh, well, I don't want to do that.
Oh, yeah. No, I'm going to make you cry. I'm going to make you all sloppy and crying. And I like to make grown men
Will you make people
cry.
go home and make love too?
Unfortunately, I get to hear about that after.
Look,
TMI!
I want to go
TMI!
to the last CD album called Sound Advice. I want to go to track number 11, your rendition of My Way, which was a standard. And I want you to hear this phenomenal vocalist like you've never heard her before. Miss Pattie Austin is with us tonight. You can call and speak with her, 1-855-453-6694. Welcome inside the Quiet Storm.
And now the end is near, and so I face the final curtain. My friend, I'll say it clear. I'll state my case, of which I'm certain. I've lived a life that's full. I've traveled each and every highway and more, much more than this. I did it my way. Regrets, I've had a few, but then again, too few to mention. I did what I had to do and saw it through without exemption. I planned each charted course, each careful step along the byway, but more, much more than this, I did it my way. Yes, there were times, I'm sure you knew, when I bit off more than I could chew. Oh, but through it all, when there was doubt, faced it all. I stood tall and did it my way. I've loved, I've laughed and cried, I've had my fill, my share of losing. And now as tears subside, I find it all so amusing to think I did all that. And may I say, not in a shy way, no, oh no, not me, I did it my way. For was this the plan? What have I got? If not myself, then I have not to say the things you truly feel, and not the words of one who kneels. The record shows I took the blows and did it my way. My way. I did it my way.
Swarmed all over him, and he was brilliant. He gave everybody.
Hello. Hello.
Hello.
Hi. Can you
Hello?
can you turn your radio down for me, my love?
Sure. Yes. Oh gosh. Hello.
What is your name?
Hi, my name is Marlene.
Mylene. Say hello to Pattie Austin.
Hi, Patty.
Hi, is it Mylene or Marlene?
Marlene.
Hi, Marlene.
Hi, how are you, Patty?
I'm
Oh,
just terrific.
boy.
How are you, darling?
I'm great. It's so great to hear from you. And I have to tell you that Lenny has brought so many wonderful artists on his show, but this is the epitome.
Oh,
Bringing you here, and I have to tell you, I've been trying to follow you through Facebook, YouTube, for the last 30 years.
well, now you finally have a way to track me down.
Yeah.
Oh my
and
God!
I get to hear your voice. Oh my God, this is exciting.
Oh,
And you're wonderful. Your
Thank you
voice
so much.
is so wonderful. And I used to sing to my daughter when I was pregnant. My belly. She came on to be a singer. Unfortunately, she didn't make it far. But I mean, she is a singer, and she sang in the Apollo. And
all right.
I wanted her to sing your music, your songs.
Oh,
You know, but
so now
I
you've
just
made
wanna-
her hate me completely, right?
No, no. She loves you too.
Well, I can't tell you how many people come up to me after a show and say,
Okay.
I play your music for my children, and I always kind of go like, oh God, this kid's gonna hate me. It's like when they were in the womb, I used to take the headphones and put them with you singing. I'm like, oh, this poor child has been traumatized for life. But,
No.
And I have these adorable children that come back to see me after shows, and they just kind of look at me like, wow, that's the lady that was on the stage, and they just, I love your music, and my mom. No, it usually goes like this. My mommy used to make me listen to you, and I'm like, oh, great, terrific. It was like punishment, right? So first you go into the quiet corner, and then you have to listen to Pattie Austin. It goes in that, usually in that order.
No, it's actually been a privilege.
Well,
it's been
I
a
just
privilege, and they have an old soul because of it. my girl.
That's right. That's right.
Oh, that's sweet.
Yes.
Thank you
You
so
know,
much.
I introduced them to wonderful music, and especially yours.
Well, I
And I
got
have to
introduced
say-
to wonderful music by my father, who was an incredible musician. He was a jazz musician, and he had very eclectic musical taste. He listened to absolutely everything. I mean, you'd wake up in our house usually to some Stravinsky, and then
Yeah.
you'd hear some Big Mama Thornton, and then there was some Duke Ellington.
Really diverse.
Oh, it was all over
Yeah.
the place, and
Wow.
you know, and some Patsy Cline, and he just listened to everything. And so I listened to everything,
Wow.
and I always
So-
grew up thinking that music was just music. You know, it didn't matter what the category was. And at first, it did not serve me well to have that kind of eclectic taste or be that versatile. But it's really ended up being the reason that I'm still able to work, because I do all kinds of music, and I perform all over the world. And
Wow.
it's
incredible.
given me the ability to be very versatile. And I recommend to anyone who is a singer out there, be versatile. I know that
Yes.
the powers that be like to pigeonhole you if you have success and make you do one thing over and over and over again. But the more versatile you are, the more longevity you have. And I think the more music that you expose your children to, the happier they're going to be through their life, even if they don't want to be musicians. Music is a healing balm.
Yep.
It is. It lifts the spirits. If you want to feel sad, you can orchestrate that. If you want to feel better, you can orchestrate that. And music's a very, very powerful form. And I think it behooves people to introduce their children to it. It can really do wonderful things for children and for all of us. For all of us.
Yes.
Hey,
Yes. And thank you
my
for
love,
imparting that.
Thank you for
Wonderful.
calling tonight. I appreciate it.
Thank you. No tickets for a winner?
No. We're not giving away any tickets right now. But thank you for calling, Marlene.
Okay. Thank you so much.
Thanks,
Thank you,
Marlene.
Patty. God bless you.
Bye-bye.
Love you, darling.
Okay, honey. All right.
Take
Bye.
care. Bye-bye.
We have time? No. We'll go live. .5 WBLS. Welcome inside the Quiet Storm. About to turn it over to Confessions of Love. And you know what? I'm thinking, why did I not have Pattie Austin come in for Confessions of Love? If there's anybody who
Don't
can...
be looking at me when you talk about confessing something. That would be a very short segment.
No.
if
Confessions
I'm
of...
involved.
You know what? Something tells me, and
ain't
I
saying
didn't even get...
nothing.
I'm not really going to expose your personal life, because I know how... you like
What
to keep-
personal life? Let's not have a
you
depressing
like to keep-
conversation in the
You like
middle
to
of the
keep certain
evening.
things private.
Yes.
Are you in love, though?
I'm always in love, unfortunately.
Well, that's good,
When
isn't
I'm
it?
not near the one I love the one I'm near. Yes.
Pattie
rough.
Austin.
It's rough out there,
Are you
people.
kidding me? Are you kidding me?
I would never kid you.
Is it hard to love someone when they are in a state of difficulty, or they're in a state of being unlovable?
It's hard to love someone when they're happy and everything is cool. It's hard. It's hard to be alive. At 63, here's what I now know.
Okay.
It's hard to be alive. But what's the alternative?
I hear that.
That really sucks, doesn't it?
Well, yeah, that does.
So you might as well
Just deal with it.
groove with what you got. That's really the bottom line. Groove with what you got. Make the very best of what this is that we've got. Ultimately, it's the magical mystery tour. Pull all of the joy and magnificence out of it that you can. When it gets hard, roll with it. And as my parents used to say at the end of every day when I came home from school, did you learn anything? I think this is a plane of existence that's about learning. So I think if you learn something, no matter how hard the lesson, it's been a good day.
You know, Patty, I would agree with you, but we're just trying to learn how to roll with it, you know?
Yeah.
Because, couples these days, and we spoke about this before we got
So
on here
hard.
tonight, they can't roll. They're not rolling long enough. I mean, we're hearing a lot of
it's like,
divorce.
Oh, I don't like you this morning. Divorce!
Divorce. And it seems like that's like the first thing to go to, like grabbing
Yeah,
a towel.
Right, exactly.
Oh, I can get divorced
Ooh,
real quick.
No, I don't like those shoes.
So
Divorce!
the quality, so the quality is just going out the window.
Yeah.
It's unbelievable.
Yeah, that's why I never got married or had children. Because, all kidding aside, because I know my temperament and I know my first love. I love this horrible, can I say the B word?
No.
Okay.
But I got you.
But you know what I mean?
Right, yeah.
This horrible B.
Right.
Called show business,
Right.
which I started doing when I was 4 years old. Hence, I've been in the business 60 years. I know you guys think I started I'm 120, but no, I started when I was 4. That's why, hence it's 60 years. But when you do something, when you're that driven for that long with one and that myopic about what you do, it's very hard to share any part of yourself with anything or anybody else.
It is.
And when it brings you so much pleasure and so much joy, it gets really dangerous because you become so absorbed in the wonderfulness of doing that and I realized that about it. I realized that I wasn't going to have a lot left to share. And so I don't even really try, but if somebody wants to come in and deal with that madness, they're more than welcome.
Well, don't let her fool you. She's got a lot of music to share and a lot of moments to share with you this weekend. Tomorrow night, Manhattan Center. Saturday night, she's going to be at Tilly's. Town Hall. Town Hall tomorrow night.
And then Tillis at Tillis Hall in Long Island on Saturday.
8 o'clock, both shows. The Duke Ellington Orchestra is with you, and you're going to have a wonderful time when you see this beautiful lady of song do her thing. I'm going to close on out, but thank you for coming by.
We're leaving?
We're leaving. But I'm going to leave them with Luther Vandross.
Don't be leaving him with my brother.
I'm going to miss you in the morning. Remember this song? Let's go back to 70, yeah.
Gwen
Pattie
Guthrie's
Austin.
singing backgrounds on this, people. Just know a little trivia for you.
Thanks for coming.
Speaking of background singing.
Neither one of us caring why a love so strong.
I just want to grab this last call before. Hello?
Sure.
Hey, Lenny. Hey, Patty.
Hey.
Patty.
Mike.
Mike. This is Mike.
Hi, Mike.
Hey, Patty. I just want to say it's wonderful to hear a living legend on the radio. I mean, James Ingram is great, Quincy Jones is great, but when you had the combination with James Ingram, you really brought up the success of everybody's career. You're just wonderful.
Oh, aren't you a sweetheart? Thank you so much.
Really great. And I just also want to thank Lenny and BLS for always putting on great singers and musicians on WBLS for interviews. He always does the best job, so I just want to thank you all.
He does, and Lenny knows everybody, so he gets people to talk about stuff that they otherwise would not mention.
You know what, Mike, I have a great team, and shout out to Brother Ken Simmons, who really, really is the backbone for all that. But thank you, man, for listening and enjoying.
All right, well, you have a pleasant night, everybody.
You too.
We'll talk, hopefully, Patty, just before you leave, or when you leave, have Lenny just give all those dates again in the New York City area.
Okay. Sure.
Okay, thanks a lot.
You got it, Lenny.
Thank you, man.
Okay, guys, bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Miss Pattie Austin joining us tonight inside the Quiet Storm. We wish you much continued success.
Thank you.
It's always a joy. Hopefully it won't be 3 years.
Yeah, that seems to be my thing with everybody. I haven't seen anybody for 3 years, and I'm here until Monday, and I'm trying to squeeze in all of these. With just trying to see everybody.
Well, it's always a pleasure when you squeeze us in. I appreciate that.
I love squeezing you in.
So we look for a quicker squeeze next time. All right?
An earlier squeeze. We must have
earlier and
so
quicker.
Much space
it's
between
always
our squeezes.
Good. Look, if you don't know about this phenomenal woman, this is Women's History Month. This is the perfect opportunity for you to learn about her, learn about her music, and learn about what she stands for. And once again, congratulations on your new Oscar. Wonderful. She won Best Documentary Feature, and it's 20 feet
from stardom.
Yeah. Pattie Austin, inside the Quiet Storm. Confessions of Love next. Stay around.